Is Smash Ultimate broken?
It is.
I forgot about pre-patch Chrom. Oh. I don't know if this covers it, but you used to always die first.
Chrom aside?
Yeah, you don't see this anywhere near as much anymore. Chrom and Ike as well both had their up specials patch, so that generally speaking, they're going to die a lot more often than their opponent does now if they go for the offstage drag down. So it's obviously not effective in last stock situations anymore, but you could still use it pretty effectively a lot of the time. The much bigger issue for Chrom is that, as it turns out, certain DIs just kill a lot of those setups. They're not that real.
This is still in the game.
Yeah, it's still in the game.
This will just always be a thing, no matter what the Smash game is. I just don't even think that combo was true when he did it.
Yeah, this was hilarious. There was a patch where they specifically changed Luigi so that he couldn't do this anymore. And I remember within the span of, I don't even think it was an hour, Luigi players were already just posting different ways to do it to Twitter. And it never got patched again. Nintendo gave it one look, went, yep, fine handiwork, job well done, Luigi fixed forever, off we go.
Yeah, I think echoes were like weirdly a scam in this game.
They suck.
Weird animation differences with the characters, that's it.
This part still pisses me off. There are some echoes that are just the same.
Made a whole video about how much it pisses me off.
And I don't get why.
Neither do I. These should have been patched over time, right? Like Ultimate's balance patches. How hard would it have been to throw in like, oh, Peach gets a little bit more use out of her float. Daisy gets some slightly stronger normals. Like, come on, man. Richter's forward tilt gets a little leggier, but his uppercut goes a little further. Like, this was not hard to do. They were simple little number tweaks. Peach and Daisy started the game differently. Their turn-ups had different properties, and then they patched it out because it turned out to be a mistake. To this day, Echo Fighters are still one of the weirdest parts of Ultimate to me. Like, I can kind of understand launching like that, maybe not really, especially because you gave them like featured focus in trailers and stuff like that, but the fact they managed to get through a 3-year patch cycle without being improved or differentiated from their source characters at all is just strange.
And I'm pretty sure Peach and Daisy are literally the exact same.
Nowadays, yep. No, sorry, technically that's not completely true. Peach and Daisy have very slightly different hurt boxes because their idle stances are a little bit different. Definitely worthy of getting her own character slot for that.
You can't complain about Incineroar's revenge. That's your fault, bro.
You can absolutely complain about Incineroar's revenge.
Boom. That's only if you hit him with a strong attack, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if we're being honest, Heeew is going for the most extreme examples he could get there. That's like multiple stacks of high-level revenge in order to get a 72% command grab, but the whole, oh, it's only your fault thing? Revenge is frame 3 and also works on projectiles, so you have to scrap with them.
The computers were literally too hard. They were literally too hard, and they had to nerf the computer.
The AI? I forgot, yo, it was actually unironically hard to unlock characters because they could just jam you. I remember I lost to like 6 of them, and I had to go back and unlock them. I wish they kept it hard, though, because that was funny.
I kind of do, too.
Yeah, it was definitely a meme, dude. I forgot.
For people who weren't playing Ultimate right away, like, Marss is not exaggerating. The AI was stupid earlier on. If you already knew how to play the game, it was honestly the most fun I've ever had unlocking characters, but if you're like a TO who's trying to get a whole bunch of setups created for tournaments, or the more realistic use case, you're a new player, the Switch is one of the best-selling consoles of all time, so this is your first Nintendo console, this is your first crack at Super Smash Bros., and you run into those things, like 10% chance you're returning the thing. I'm just picturing crowds of crying children running to their parents, and the parents can't beat them either.
What is this?
Oh, I forgot about this, yeah. This is fun.
Here he comes! I didn't even know about this. Woo! Wee!
I never knew that was a thing.
It wasn't that impactful, but it was, you know, it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Press 2 if you had no idea. Bro, I had no idea that was a thing. They should have left that in the game. No, wait, what am I saying? No. It's funny.
Asking you, wait, is this the one?
I asked YouTubers what they thought.
Oh, I'm in this. Yeah, I do remember talking to Heeew about Ike's Nair, but it had been so long since I've had to connect these dots, so I haven't had a huge amount of time with the game so far because of exams. It took me 3 months after Ultimate came out for me to be able to publish a video. I was just getting buried under schoolwork at the time. And that was just such a gold rush era for content creators. It wouldn't actually affect performance anymore nowadays, but my sub count, I promise you, would be significantly higher if I hadn't been in school at the time. In any case, unironically, so far I'd say Ike's Nair. It's not on a broken character, but that move is not okay, and I love it if you give it to a fast character to break the game. Still stand by all of that. Ike's Nair nowadays is still a really good move, but I'm talking about pre-patch Ike's Nair. Look, it sends you nowhere.
Oh, Ike's Nair? Whoo! That bad boy was broke. Bring it back.
Honestly, don't bring it back. I'm happy what they did with Ike. They took away some of the kill power from his Nair. They left the back hit, but they made the front hit way worse as a combo tool. Like, technically, it still has some confirms, but the window's way smaller. But in return, they buffed stuff like his Ether. That one got a massive power boost and his dash attack. So Ike is actually a way more well-rounded character now. I'm okay with the direction they took him in. Because pre-patch Ike was just Nair the character. There's always some amount of exaggeration that goes on with a statement like that, but I think Ultimate Ike is like as close as we've ever come to a literal one-button character. It was a bit unhealthy.
Oh no, not this. This is less of an issue than people made it out to be. That was like one of those things where people were from Smash 4. People were more focused on looking exactly at what the character was doing, but now you just need a general idea of what characters are going to do because things are unreactable as it is.
All of those are completely valid points, but Inkling's dash dance still annoys the hell out of me.
Inkling roller. I swear I can break my controller and still not be out of Inkling roller. I swear to you.
So, you know, I've kind of changed my mentality on this move. Nowadays, I just kind of think of it as getting hit by a kill move because a lot of the time, fundamentally, that's just what they're doing anyways. It's obnoxious, but people did learn how to play around it a lot better. Man, people really did used to think that Inkling was a very, very good character. That's just basically not a thing anymore. Even though they didn't really get nerfed, they just actually got buffed over time. The only significant nerf they took was to roller berry time. But even then, that wasn't actually a nerf, it was a trade-off. At low percents, you couldn't get the same combos out of it because you could mash out faster, but at high percents, it actually became more reliable.
Pichu F in the chat, dude. The biggest single nerf to a character.
Yeah, they murdered this thing.
Oh, Pichu F-Tilt! Skill!
Removed one of the best moves in the entire game.
Would you believe me if I told you that on the very next frame of the game, this forward tilt is going to hit Luigi? Because this forward tilt hits Luigi. Jesus Christ. It was so good, and I also just love how it doesn't match the animation at all. Like, Pichu, it's so casual. It's like, and then it just absolutely dumpsters you. Me neither, Void.
They balanced the hell out of this game. Even like the early patches were so much more well-balanced and so many iterations of Smash.
I would honestly say that 1.0 Ultimate was substantially better balanced than Smash 4 was after all the patches, which, considering how much larger the roster was, is pretty impressive. I think they could have gone further with the patches, particularly in terms of buffing weaker characters, but overall, I didn't hate what they did here. The fact that we actually got proper patch notes, or at least somewhat proper patch notes this time, was a godsend compared to Smash 4, when every time it was patch day, you would literally just have hordes of people going into the lab and trying to figure out what the hell Nintendo did. I think what I'm particularly happy about in most cases with Ultimate is the nerfs, though. Generally speaking, they managed to bring characters more in line without completely butchering them. That's not a universal thing. Pichu was probably hit too hard. Olimar's Hurtbox was changed to stick out from his shield. That was a huge oversight, but generally speaking, I thought they were done pretty well. It would always be stuff like, oh no, Wario lost a few frames off his up tilt, he's unplayable now, then Wario goes and wins a major. Oh no, Palutena's forward air and grab went down a bit, I don't think she's a top tier anymore. Palutena's absolutely still a top tier. Lots of that kind of stuff, more just like shaving things off the top rather than completely ruining the characters. Pichu and Olimar are the only ones I can think of that got hit like really, really hard, and then Olimar, frankly, is still okay, and he doesn't need to be great. I think having Olimar as a candidate for the best character in the game was not particularly healthy, and Pichu, he actually got a decent amount of stuff added back to him afterwards. They never fixed the Pits hitboxes though. You knew it was coming, let's just rip the band-aid off.
Peach combos! Yeah, for people who don't know, there's a difference in damage between short hop aerials and full hop aerials. But when you float cancel with Peach, you get the full hop damage. That's silly. That's ridiculous. Because they would just full hop, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
Like 100.
Seems like an exploit.
But they're hard to use. Only like Mutace and a few others can do it.
I'm honestly not quite sure what to make of Peach nowadays. Like, she doesn't get those kinds of ridiculous setups in bracket constantly. That was predictable. We've seen these kinds of 0 to deaths in training mode fall apart since the dawn of time, but they really don't seem to materialize essentially at all. And a lot of the meta is like sword fighter characters, and she's pretty stubby. I don't know, on paper it seems like she's still got a lot of absolutely insane tools. Float is better than some characters, turnips are better than some characters. That combo game is still ridiculous, but we're just not quite seeing it all come to the surface yet.
Still some Icy's jank, unblockables. When Icy's pull anything off in this game, it's wow. Can you imagine that happening in tournament?
Stuff like this does happen in tournament from time to time, and whatever else you want to say about the Ice Climbers, this is cool. This is not wobbling, this is not simple handoffs, there's some genuine creativity and skill involved in these. Until they start getting too consistent, then suddenly they're lame as hell again.
They're evolving. Nah, these characters are never gonna be broken. Until someone finds a way to kill you at 0 off a side B.
The whole Ice Climbers Infinite route hasn't really panned out for them. They can still do some silly stuff, but I feel like at this point, we can kind of say they're probably not going to be amazing, but they're also so complicated that it wouldn't really shock me if someone broke them at some point.
Ivysaur got nerfed to the ground too. Deserved, mind you. Yo, I remember when this happened, Tweak was so upset about how Ivysaur is not even good and they shouldn't have nerfed them. What? Good or bad? That's brain dead. Look, boom, didn't hit him. Boof.
And done for similar design principles as Ike, where it's like, okay, here's their stupid brain dead option, and we're gonna tone this down, and we're gonna bring some other stuff up in return. In this case, largely Charizard. Charizard became a real character.
It was all Sweet Spot. Sour Spot didn't exist. Boom. That's Sweet Spot, dog. Do you see how far away that was?
I want to say I'm not shocked by this because I do remember how ridiculous old Ivysaur Danner used to be, but like, what the hell?
He didn't even snap ledge yet. That wasn't even a 2-frame. He just hit him.
He had all the time in the world. And up air looks even bigger, dude.
Yeah, this one here, this one lived, survives to this day. Danner successfully took the heat off it. Just barely missed my list of the best of every Smash Ultimate move. It was a hard call with that one.
Oh, you can hang it off the ledge. That's so scary.
This is still stupid to this day, dude. I just don't think that should be a thing.
No, I'm kind of on board with that. I think you're allowed to have diverse character designs. Not every character has to work hard for the same things, but this one is so over the top and so risk-free and so easy to do, and the consequences of it are so high for your opponent. And even if Ness didn't have this, PK Thunder would still be one of the best edgeguarding tools in the game. Like, I think this was just over the top. It's honestly ridiculous. Yeah, yo! Oh, untechable.
Young Link kill confirms. This character is broken. Down tilt. There it is.
That's a good down tilt.
Down tilt, up air, down tilt, forward air, back air 1 into anything. Forward air drag downs. Character is dumb.
Dumb but cool. I love Young Link combos. I'm a huge sucker for like the drag down forward air stuff, abusing multi-hits. I've tried playing this character before, but all of the controllers I own right now have a lot of snapback on them, and for a character who's going to be jumping around throwing out his fire arrow constantly, that's just kind of a non-starter. Someday though.
Donkey Kong Infinite. Oh, Diddy Kong.
The pyramid scheme.
Oh, this got patched out.
Yeah.
Thank God, bro. I lost to a Diddy player because of this happened to me.
It's surprisingly practical. This did not deserve to remain in the game, especially because it turned out to be shockingly practical. When this first started popping up, it seemed like a huge gimmick, but you saw players like Dakpo who actually made regular use out of it. And hey, Diddy actually got some pretty nice buffs in exchange for having this removed. I would say his design's probably the healthiest it's ever been.
Doubles online. It's so laggy. What do you do, man?
See, Multiverses doesn't have team attack either, but they've actually planned around it.
Me tornado? I hate that move. I hate that tornado, dude. The sword fire tornado. It's below. That up B I haven't seen though. I'm surprised more than they use it.
Yeah, the Gale Strike does not feel good to get hit by, but realistically, it didn't really turn out to be broken at all. There was some initial interest in me Sword Fighter earlier on in Ultimate's life, and then he just plummeted off a cliff. And this up special here, the hero spin, you essentially just do not see any Mii Sword Fighter players use that anymore. They all use the skyward slash dash because you can still get those confirms a lot of the time with up air, which is still a very good kill move, and the trade-off is that you now have access to a very good recovery instead of an extremely exploitable recovery.
Little Mac. He's not...
Okay, to be fair, that was an awful recovery attempt. Oh, we're here. Yeah, that was the thing just for a little while. Mac got his jab patched so that he could actually chain the gentlemen together a few times, and then they got rid of it. It was good, but it never seemed particularly broken, and it gave Mac actual utility with his jab, which is something that very few characters actually get in Ultimate, and I miss it.
I wonder if he made a Smash Ultimate is broken 3.
No, Heew's actually been away for a while. Decided to go off to school. Dumbass.
I'll give it 9.
Come back at some point, man.
Yeah, people thought Ganondorf was broke when the game first came out.
I miss those days. I was optimistic I was gonna be a Ganon main.
Yeah, Ultimate's broken. It's the cheesiest Smash game. All the little cringe lords are becoming good because they're using their baby characters and outplaying people. Outplaying people get real. And yeah, take me back. Take me back to the days of ZSS not being nerfed.
Nah, I think we're good there. In terms of Ultimate being the cheesiest Smash game, I don't quite agree with that. Let me put it this way. There are a few characters in Ultimate, I think you can probably guess which ones, which are really cheesy by the standards of really any of the Smash games, but I think the average Smash Ultimate character is significantly less cheesy than the average, say, Smash 4 character is. So I can kind of see where he's coming from there, although with Marss, it's always hard to tell how serious he's being. Good enough for me, coming up on 4 years old, and I think it's still going pretty strong. Alright, thanks for watching everyone, and let me know what you think about Smash Ultimate right now. Likes and comments are a huge factor YouTube uses to decide if a video should be passed around to more people, so if you think this one deserves it, much appreciated. You can check out the Smash 4 version of this video above, a video on my main channel about comeback mechanics below, and patrons, YouTube members, and Twitch subs get perks like early videos and Discord access. Later, people!